Time to do the VStrom 800 DE first oil change. The break-in period is 600 miles. I went a little over. I had a long ride today out to a customer's place, so I'm at 700, but I kept it under 5,000 RPMs. So it's all good. Here's what you're gonna need. Oil. Make sure that your oil, according to the owner's manual, if you use the API, you want to make sure that you have the SJ, SL, SM, or SN designation, or the JSO MA, MA1 or MA2. I use AMSOIL, it's 10W40, and there it is, API SL and JSO MA, MA2. Oil filter, the part number from Suzuki, if you get an OEM filter, is 06510-07J00, or I use Wix 51359. A filter wrench, 5mm, Allen key, of course a receptacle, and I like to write down in the back all my service stuff. So when I'm done doing this, I'll write the miles, the date, what I put in it, and keep that record for the life of the bike. People who buy the bike after you will be happy you did that if you do it now. So first thing is you got to take off the cowling. That's a 5mm bolt on this side and the other side. We'll get that off. All right, so before you start draining the oil, you want to make sure you run the engine for 3 minutes according to the owner's manual, to get that oil nice and loose and it'll flow better. Careful when you're getting down underneath here to get to the drain plug. Pipes are gonna be hot. It's a 17mm drain plug right there. So we'll get that, start the flow. Undo the filler cap, and that'll make sure that we get it all out of there. Okay. That oil still looks pretty good. It's only got 700 miles on it, but that's the break-in period. Get this stuff out of there. If you were so inclined, you could capture some of this and then send it in for a oil analysis. If you're into that type of thing, it'll tell you what kind of metals are in the oil and if there's any kind of indication of something maybe wrong. I'm not doing it, but you can. All right, so all the oil has drained out. Get in there with a clean rag. Use a lint-free rag. That's the best way to do it. You don't want any of those fibers from a cotton rag getting in there, into the engine, clogging the filter, doing damage. So clean that real good. Take your new filter. Get a little oil. Smear it on the rubber ring. Okay. Now, you're gonna screw this on until you feel a little bit of tension. Okay, so there's a little bit of tension. Now, according to the owner's manual, you're supposed to crank that down 2 full revolutions. So, make a mark. Just gonna put, let's see, we'll do it at 12 o'clock, right there. So there's my mark. And I'm gonna crank that 2 turns. All right, I'll have to get my wrench in there to do that, all right? Be back. Well, the owner's manual says that you're supposed to make a mark at top dead center and rotate it 2 full turns to put this on right. Well, that might be for an OEM filter, but this Wix with its rubber gasket, I'm at about a turn and, I don't know, just over a half, and it's tight. And I would not want to tighten this anymore to move that to 2 rotations. So that'll do. Here's the specs for the oil filter tightening torque, 15 foot-pounds. The drain plug, 17 foot-pounds. If you look at the owner's manual, right there, it says 3,500 milliliters or 3.7 quarts. However, if you go to the engine case, it says 3,000. So what you want to do is put in 3 quarts and then check it. And if you need to add more, add more. You want to be between here and here after the bike's been warmed up for 3 minutes and then it's stood up. If you have a center stand, put it on the center stand. If not, you just got to hold it upright and check to make sure it's between those 2 lines. Okay, so the final step of your oil change is to reset the oil change interval on your TFT screen. In order to do that, you have to get into this plug and jump 2 wires. Now, the dealer doesn't want to tell you which wires they are. They want to do this service, but the fact of the matter is you have the right to repair your own motorcycle. I'm not telling you to do this. I'm fine doing it. It's my bike. So I choose to do it. If you're not comfortable doing something with your own bike, just take it to the dealer. Probably do it for you for free, but then you don't have to worry about making a mistake on your electrical. But what you're going to need is a small piece of wire. Now, this is Cat 5E strand of wire. Okay, it's about 3 inches long. And you have to plug it in to a couple of pins on this. All right, now I've marked which pins they are. If you look, there's 6 rectangular holes and then 6 smaller holes above that. And the appropriate holes to put this in are the 2 small ones on the outside along this flat surface, okay? So it's on the left and on the far right, the small holes. I'll show you that in a second. All right, so there's a look at the holes you want to put this wire in, jumper wire. Don't use anything too thick. You don't want to break this thing. Be careful. You don't want to damage those pins. According to my dealer, those pins are super fragile. All right, so you have that thing jumped. Let's go to your key. Put it in the on position. Okay. You want to see this screen. That's the dealer mode or the service mode. So then go to your selector and hold the up button for 2 seconds. Now you're in menu mode. Scroll down to info, hit mode, go to next service, hit mode, and then hit reset. I can change the date. So I just put in next year. You can put in anything, put in January 1st, whatever. Okay. Hit mode for the day, the month, the day, and the year. Hit mode, and then you can change the miles. Now, 7,500 is not the correct miles. It should be 3,500 miles or 3,750 for your second oil change. I'll just put it at 3,500. I have to look in the manual. All right. Hit enter, hit set. Okay. Then hit exit. Okay, exit out of this, close out of the menu mode, turn off the key, pull your jumper wire, plug it back in. You're good. Let's see if it worked. back into menu mode, info, next service, and there you go. 3,500 miles. That's how you reset your interval.